Welcome to Laugh, Cry, or Die, a comedy disability podcast hosted by two trash bags in the shape of humans. My name is Cowman, and with me today is Fuck It All, also known as Steve Wilbury and Naomi Strain. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
No guests today, just us two mucking around in the dirt, talking about the never-ending joy.
Yeah, we do need more guests, but yeah.
No, they can fuck off.
Fuck off. Fuck it
Fuck off.
all.
Fuck everyone. We'll just do it ourselves. It'd be great. It'd be fantastic. And no one else even has to show up. And I'll have a great time waking up early on a Monday morning. It'll be awesome. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. We're both so naturally excited today.
I'm just covered in excitement. Covered a
Hooray.
thin film, if you will. A moist towelette.
Mm, I don't like the sound of it, which is our lives. Just nah.
Yes,
People can look at our lives and go,
yes.
nah, don't like the sound of that. Rather not, thanks.
So this is my life. 45 minutes later. Oh, I'd rather
Yeah, no
not.
thanks.
No, thank you. I'm quite full. I had a whole my life for breakfast.
The kind of person that would look at our lives and go, oh yeah, fancy me a bit of that.
Pervert. A disgusting, disgusting pervert. Speaking of perverts, my friend Jess found this amazing human being on Tinder who I'm just gonna open with a complete waffle into the weeds.
Awesome. Dating
Um,
and Tinder stories are always fun.
oh my God. I'm a member. I don't go on Tinder because I have this wife, but I'm on the Tinder subreddit and some of the shit that's on there is just fucking hilarious.
Right, I don't use Tinder, but I do have well, I wouldn't even say profile, but I like to look and see if there's people I know on there. Like, oh, who's local?
I don't want to yuck somebody else's yum, but
Hmm.
so there's a person whose name I'm not going to give, but he is a father to two beautiful calves who are my world. If you can't handle, spelt wrong, that, keep on swiping. Looking for a down-to-earth cow to matriarch the herd while I bust around the Serengeti doing my thing.
Oh,
Update, one beautiful calf. Goddamn poachers. Everyone told me to get them detusked, but I heard it causes autism.
this sounds like a catch of a person.
And so I was talking to my friend about this fantastically not deranged human being. And I was like, they're either some kind of cow king or that's like a god tier troll.
Yeah. See that, yeah, going trolling on those is, fun, but that sounds a bit too well thought through. That
I
sounds,
don't know, man. Like this, it's the 21st century. Trolls have a lot of fucking time on their hands. Know what I'm
see,
saying?
when you first started saying that, I thought, is he saying, calves instead of children?
I
And
think he is,
yeah,
but he's got one that's got a tusk. I don't know. It's the autism thing at the end that I'm like, what the fuck is even
yeah, that's
happening?
just adding a bit of trolling into there, isn't it?
I don't. Well, this is the. I don't know. I don't know. This is the welcome to the future. It's horrible and nobody likes it.
Yeah, see, I've had very limited experience on dating sites and apps because the only couple of occasions that I have, it hasn't particularly gone well. Met one guy and we met up for a drink and there was there was nothing there. But he said, oh, I might come along to the comedy night that you're doing. Yeah, all right. Welcome to my brain. And I said, well, I will be busy because I was emceeing the night as well. I said, oh, I'll be busy, so I won't really be able to hang out, but you're welcome to come along. And so he did, and another friend of mine was there, and she was on her own. And so I was like, oh, hey, you guys, you can sit together if you want to. And so they did, and afterwards went to the bar and said, hey, how did you find that? And he was like, yeah, it's good. And he kept looking preoccupied and then didn't even finish his drink and ran away. And I was like, well, that was unusual. And I came home and my friend messaged me saying that he had chased her and asked her out for coffee. And she said, well, no, that's not particularly appropriate at the moment. And
Mm.
he messaged the next day saying, like, oh, I chased your friend. And it's like, yeah, I had no claims on him,
Yeah.
but like manners, like wouldn't you go like, hey, we haven't got a thing, have we? So I'm just gonna go and ask your mate out. It's like, is that not bad manners to just run away and chase her?
See, what I think you're forgetting is fucking people.
Yeah, yeah, people fucking suck.
Fucking people,
Yeah.
right?
I,
Jeez.
I did have one that was going quite well, and he made a joke about my name. So Naomi backwards is I
I
moan.
moan. Yeah, I know. It's every person I know
Exactly.
named Naomi thinks that that's
Oh,
hilarious.
it makes me laugh every time.
It is
And
basically
so he made a joke on that and then said, oh, sorry, I was just trying to make you laugh. I'm like, okay. And I said, oh, that's all right. I like to be amused. But autocorrect jumped in and I just messaged him, I like to be abused. Yeah. And he didn't message back, which I think that's kind of a good thing. Because if he'd have
well,
stayed and gone, well, yeah, I'll abuse you, that wouldn't have been good.
well, it depends if you do or not.
True, true. I mean, I was meaning it quite innocently.
But you
But
know, hey, it's the 21st century. People have sex with everything these days.
true, true. I don't.
Literally fucking people.
Fucking people going about there, fucking people.
Fucking people. That's all they
Yeah.
do. They're like, hey, are you a people? And they're like, yeah, let's fuck. I'm like, all right.
One other one, there's me saying I never use it, and now all the stories was a guy had messaged going, hey, I'm going to be in Nelson. Do you want to meet up? And I was like, yeah,
Mm.
maybe. And then bearing in mind, I made no response during all of this. He messaged saying, oh, I've got a motel, in your area.
Oh,
And
yeah, he told
I
me
think it would
that.
be, I think it'd be great if you came to this motel. And I've got somewhere with a private spa, and I'm going to get wine and I'm going to get chocolates. And I think if you tell me what your size is, then I'm going to buy you some sexy lingerie and I'm going to get these toys. And it just started getting worse and worse. And I want to do this to you and I want to do that to you. And then it went quiet. And it's like, I didn't need to respond to any of those messages. And he had a wonderful time. It's like, if I had actually gone with him, it's like I wouldn't have needed to participate in any of the proceedings for
He
him
could
to
have
have
just
a
sat and
very
read a
lovely time.
newspaper, drank a hot chocolate, and been like, you done? He's like, nearly.
Yeah, so I've got a great idea for a date. Come and watch me wank. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Wonderful.
Dating in the 21st century.
Sucks.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Um,
I don't date in general because one, as we say, it sucks. It's a really uncomfortable, awkward thing to do. And I don't feel like I've got any selling points. Like, hello, here's my crap life.
I
Like,
am so lucky I landed Rachel before
yeah.
everything. She actually met me just after I'd had my first skateboard accident and I was limping. And she's now she's like, I should have just run. I was
Yeah,
like,
so she was she was signing up for that. Hey, I've got a cool skateboarding dude who's so into it. He's got injuries from it. He's so cool.
cool. Oh, I was so, my hair was so floppy when I had hair.
Oh,
I was
oh.
adorable. I also, and I've said this before on the show, had fucking guns because I was
Yeah.
working in the juggling shop 5 days a week, going training juggling 3 extra nights a week. And in my spare time, I was also juggling or spinning
Yeah.
my staff. And I was this rail thin 23-year-old with like Popeye arms attached
Well,
to him.
so technically, legally, Rachel could divorce you on false advertising. Legally, I'm sure there's a legal
Legally.
clause.
So you're saying that the advertising commission should handle my divorce proceedings?
Yeah.
Just checking.
I
Just
mean, I
checking.
support Rachel in whatever way she can get out of such a terrible situation.
Although, here's the thing, right? She fucking deserves it because she cast a love spell on me and a little witchy poo thing.
Really?
She mystically roofied me.
And what was that?
I don't know. She did some little like, neo-pagan 21st century, early 2000s wicked shenanigans.
All right, she deserves whatever's coming then. Sorry.
Open yourself to the dark forces of the universe, they'll come fucking knocking.
I'm all for people doing, magic, I guess. I mean, you are a magician, so you can't really judge her
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
but what she did was wizardry. Magic is just being a good liar with toys.
I've just got sidetracked. What is on your finger?
What is on my finger? Does look like a finger puppet. It is a plaster that's far too big because I cut the shit out of myself when I was doing wiring in the bus yesterday.
Were you doing a blood sacrifice for Rachel?
I was I had to appease the dark forces. Um, well, no, the thing is that there's blood, sweat, and tears in that bus. Now
True.
there's more blood, sweat, and tears. But no, this is it's a plaster and it's just floppy around on the end, which kind of segues into the bus. I am 1.5 jobs away from getting having it done to sell.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Are those 1.5 jobs, are they manageable or are they huge?
They are tidying up from all the mess that I made when I was finishing all the jobs and booking in an electrical guy to do the electrical connection certificate
So
thing.
that's not too bad.
No, it is today. It's done. This is the last day of my 6 year fucking mahi.
That's gotta feel good.
I'm just tired, man. Like my pain's been off the charts because I've really been like, it's very much like, okay, I'm doing a planned boom and bust. Like this is gonna hurt, but it'll get me to where I want to be.
Yeah, yeah. So have you got like a period of rest coming up?
No, tomorrow I start teaching fencing again.
You need to pencil in a day off, an actual rest day, not off because like we get forced rest days, which is when
Hmm.
uh situations have forced us to stop and forced us to fall down. Like I sleep when I'm in hospital on drugs,
Hmm.
or I collapse and be unconscious for a bit. But actually booking a genuine rest day is really, really hard because
Hmm.
if I say have a rest day and I do nothing, and then the next day I get hit on my ass by a seizure, that's then 2 days wasted. So there's kind of pressure that when you're able and capable to do stuff, you want to do it while you've got the chance,
Hmm.
and like having a rest day is risky because you might waste other days, or say if there's a thing that you have to do, but you plan to do it on Tuesday, but on Monday you're capable, it's like do it because tomorrow you don't know. You might be dead tomorrow.
Well, but the thing, especially with a project as big as completely renovating and fucking vintage house bus from a
Mm.
shell, it's just when you can only work an hour and a half stints, and even like I've been like pacing myself and handling it as well as I can, and taking CBD with my THC.
So I don't know a lot of stuff about medicinal cannabis and stuff. So what's the difference between the THC and cannabis stuff that you take?
Segue. So, for those who missed the last episode on Laugh, Cry, or Die, Steve had a massive argument with his father-in-law and finally said, "Fine, I'll go to the cannabis clinic and I will pay $100 for a plant."
Mm.
So I had a telehealth appointment and I gave him my history and I said, "I've been to the pain camp. I know what I'm doing. I'm an experienced medical cannabis person." He was like, "Cool." They say they always prescribe CBD with the THC, and because it just one mitigates some of the psychoactive parts of the THCs, but it
Mm.
still you still get the hit from the THC that does the stuff to your nervous system, but your brain is less foggy. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes fucking sense.
So they
And
prescribe cannabis to stop you being foggy.
but it's so THC is the only chemical in the plant that makes you high and like, oh, I'm gonna eat a whatever, you
Hmm.
know? It's not even the one that gives you the munchies. I think that's another one. I could be wrong about that one. Anyway, THC is the one that makes you high. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of other cannabinoids. So they call these are plants that are pretty much unique to the cannabis plant. They're like special compounds. So there's THC and CBD and God knows what, just a list of acronyms as long as your arm,
Right, right.
different compounds. And they all do different things and they all work together in different ways. And it's a very complex thing. So that's why there's this thing called whole spectrum CBD oil. So
Mhm.
that's got maybe 1 to 2% THC, and the rest of it is CBD and the other stuff from the plant. So it's all juiced together. So you get this cocktail of stuff from the plant
Right,
that
right.
works on your nervous system in a lot of different ways
Is that
because we
like,
actually
is that a pill?
it's a tincture or an oil is the
Okay,
most common
okay.
way. Um, I've got one that's CBD with a lot of the terpenes, which are another kind of class of cannabinoid chemical. It tastes like lemon. It's really bitter. It's very
Okay.
strange, but I've been taking that when I have my cannabis in the morning, and I'm better. It just takes the edge off, and I've been ticking a lot less. My ooh noises that I make
Hmm.
for the last 3 days. Last night I was a bit ticky, but I've been pushing really fucking hard with like physical labor in the heat, which is
Yeah,
about
yeah.
as you can get for a Wilbury body. But yeah, the two medicines working together really have helped a lot.
So they prescribe you with the tincture, which is a cool word, and then say go and have cannabis as well. So do they give you the cannabis, or do you have to go down a shady side street, or does
No,
one of
they
Rachel's witchy friends will get it for you?
no, I don't. I do know a couple green fairies,
Hmm.
which is a technical medical cannabis thing. But no, they prescribe it to you and they say like these are a couple of strains that we think would work for you. So if it's somebody who's needing it to help with insomnia, they're going to give a different one than to somebody who wants to help with depression because it's that much of it can change that much of a plant. And it's also very, very dependent on the person. A strain will affect one person's particular body one way and one person's particular body a different way. So you really have to try it. So they have a you go online and there's a web page and you say, I'm going to try this one, and this one and you order it and it shows up and you're supposed to keep it in the package that it comes in with your name on it like a regular prescription
Yeah.
and it's all licensed by the Medical Cannabis Authority Board, which is when they had the referendum to like see if they wanted recreational. Before that, they had passed a medical cannabis bill that set this up, and everyone was like, "Oh, but then just like fucking companies are gonna do it, and it's gonna be like capitalism and shit," which is what has happened. But I pay $50 to $60 more than I would from my Green Fairy, um, but it's really high quality, and it's the same one every time and they can tailor it by how percentages in different ones. And I know I'm gonna get the same flour that I would every week, and I know that that's the one that works for
Yeah.
me.
That's that's really good. That's way more complex than I think, sort of general society are aware of. Because like I know
Mm.
that you take stuff, but you kind of think when as soon as you say in the paper or something, in the news, like, oh, let's make it legal, that people think that it's just going to be loads of people going out and getting stoned. But that's way more scientific than I knew.
It's funny because it's proper like plant medicine, which is unfortunately become really kind of like anti-vax adjacent.
Right.
And it's like in something like Crips or treatment resistant depression, or other really complex, really difficult conditions, like the stuff with psilocybin and other, more nuanced ways of looking at the body than a traditional Western. Here is an isolated compound in a pill that does one specific thing. And it's like, well, medicine can be a lot of different things. It's just changing it and seeing how bad the side effects are and like poking
Mm.
your system. Um, and yeah, but I also, I always try and tell people I also still take my pharmaceuticals and I take my plant medicine and I do mindfulness and I go to the gym, and like health is such a fucking hugely complex beast.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people will go to alternative methods and it's like still use the stuff that your doctor prescribes. Still do.
Mm. We were talking, joking a bit about, like wizardry and magic and stuff. And I have
Mm,
a line in my show where it's like, what's more magical? Taking a diseased organ out of a dying human and nursing them back to health from a point of near death,
mm.
or me finding a card in a deck of cards? Like, seriously.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, when people don't want to do like the official route of going to the doctors and getting a pill, it's like most medications started out as a natural thing.
Hmm.
And all the, like the the companies have just put it into like measured doses. So rather than going, I'm just going to smoke random amounts of a plant, you can
Hmm.
get your specified dose that is good for you. And
Yeah.
that's magic in itself. It's all magic. Everything's magic that I don't understand.
Well, it's dried leaves, and I listened to a thing like, like Eye of Newt and all the stuff from the witches
Medieval.
scene in Macbeth,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it's, yeah, like they're all names of plants, apparently.
yeah. Maybe I should eat a frog. Maybe that would
Yeah,
help.
just go lick a fucking frog.
Oh, go lick a frog. That's like the best
Go.
insult. Fuck off, go lick a frog.
Yeah, so plant medicine's really complicated.
I
But the thing is like it's this, but I'm like, okay, if I believe in plant medicine, then it means that what the doctors are telling me is lies. It's like, no, both can be true, you
completely,
know?
completely. I need to find something for right now. I'm in a bit of a a bit of a downwards time at the moment, and I'm trying
You
to. Oh yeah, and I'm
gone.
normally so bright and chirpy and positive.
It gets to you though. It's the weight. It's the
Hey,
weight.
but just before I tell you about my downward spiral,
Go on
um,
then.
recently went to a show, and they have the Nelson magazine. People take photos and
Mm.
put them in there, and my photo was in there with me and my friend Donna. And I was at the gym, and one of the personal trainers came up and said, "Oh, the lady I was just training, she saw me and said, oh, that lady there, I'm a lady, but that lady there, she was in the magazine, and she's got such a beautiful smile. She's always smiling and always happy. It's wonderful." And it was really nice to hear that. But inside I was thinking, that's how good my masking is, because
Mm.
I don't feel that happy and bright and smiley all the time. And it's like, it's so instinctive to paste this, face on. So even when I'm at the gym and I'm not talking to anybody, her
Mm.
impression of me is that I'm always bright and chirpy. And it's like, that is bullshit because I'm a miserable cow.
But the thing is that when you smile, right?
The
It's a
world lights
true
up.
smile. The world fucking lights up. People are just like, Jesus Christ, what is that glow? A fucking angel. Shit. And then you just like, sorry, I've had my teeth whitened. Because I'm comments on Mile a lot as well. And it's because it's a true smile.
So when we smile, we really go for it. Make the most of those big moments.
Yeah, we lean into it. We're like, come on, edge of my jaw. Get the
Yeah.
other one up.
When I smile, I fucking go for it. But I've been ruminating on stuff. So I had I had a seizure, and I won't go into like massive amounts of detail, but basically somebody who I trust was with me whilst I had the seizure, and afterwards told me lies about what happened. And their lie was in one part to make themselves look good, and another part to kind of protect how I might feel about the situation. And that hurt me on so many levels because saying something to protect me, and shield me, kind of belittles all the strength that I think that I have. And I don't know how to feel about that. And that got me thinking, like, how many times or how regularly do people lie or shield me from the truth because they think I can't cope with it? Like, I think I can deal with stuff, but when
Hmm.
people are saying things like, "Oh, it's no problem, we understand," are they saying that to just try and be nice? Like, kind of is the reality that I think I live in, is it kind of a ruse to protect me because I'm so delicate? Like, am I being wrapped in cotton wool and I'm not even aware of it? I'm just feeling really shook. And the fact that somebody that I trust has used my unconsciousness and my vulnerability as a way to make themselves feel good, to boost their ego. It's like, it's really thrown me. I consider myself to be quite strong and capable and able to cope with, all sorts of stuff. And it's like, am I just being protected? Like, is I just, and I'm trying to do all the things of,
Hmm.
being out in the sun and going to the gym and doing all the nice things, but I'm really struggling to get back on track with that.
No, that's a bucking horse for sure, man. Like fuck that.
Hmm.
My first response is to go back to where we were before, which is fucking people.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so hard to like talk about this stuff and not glorify the pain and trauma and stuff that we've done, but it's like,
And how we're going to react to things. It's like they don't get it at all. And so they're protecting us, I think, well, protecting me from things that they don't realize I don't need protecting from.
it's a symptom of the general lack of empathy that exists today, right? So they're protecting you from something that they think would be embarrassing. They're like, I'm not going to tell her because I would feel bad if that happened to me, but not thinking and being like, well, how did she actually feel about it? Or, or is it worth saying like, you might have embarrassed yourself. Would you rather just not know?
Yeah, and so
Um,
for me, I would rather know, because it's weird enough being out in the world doing stuff and you're not aware of it, waking up in hospital and not knowing what went on. I would rather
mm,
know everything, no matter how
mm,
embarrassing, because it's like g- giving me some kind of control over my own life, even though I can't
mm.
change the situation. It's like I still want to know everything that happens in my life. It's like don't keep secrets about me from me.
Well,
You
it's also that like it's a consent, it's that control, and because especially, I mean, I've got a touch, but your lack of control is so profound
Yeah,
that someone take the fractions that you have away, that's like having the literally having the rug ripped out from under you.
yeah. And to be told to boost their ego as well, and just to make them feel generally good. It's like I then go away thinking that person's been so good to me, and I'm crediting them for
Mm,
stuff that I shouldn't be crediting them with. And I wouldn't think any less of them if they didn't have this feel good story. But it's like
mm.
I don't want to be saying like you're so wonderful, thank you, when they didn't do what I'm crediting them with. It sucks. And so I'm currently, and I've talked to them about it, and they rightly feel shit. And my people pleasing side wanted to go, oh, it's okay, I understand, I forgive you.
That's the
And
English.
I know, right? And it's like, no, I was actually really proud of myself because I didn't do that. Like, I had my accepting of humans hat on, but I let them know that I was wearing that hat. And then I would come
Mm,
back to actually the emotional side is I don't want to hold on to shit feeling, but I do want them to feel shit. I do want them to know that it's not okay to do that,
mm,
and I think they realize. Um, but no matter how much you sort of talk it through and you analyze it and you understand it, then you forgive and justify and all that bullshit, I'm still left sitting with the doubt that my reality is what I think my reality is. How many times have people lied before? I don't know.
do you want to know my solution to all of this?
Yes,
So,
please, Magic Steve.
Anna, friend of the pod, I managed to source a significant amount of mushrooms, and I half an ounce, split an ounce with Anna, right? So she can have her end of life psilocybin trip.
Nice.
And she's asked me to trip sit for her during this. And there is the curated, and I've been doing lots of research, and it's a very like nice thing. And I've been struggling a little as well. And I was like, well, how about if I do you, you do me, and then I'll take a hero dose, and I'll listen to the playlist, and you can just sit for me. And she said, it's great. What if both of us sit for you, or you can come in on the other ones? Because I've got 3 doses. I've got 3, 4, and 5, and we can paper, rock, scissors, and we can all have a hero dose to reestablish our reality and to get some kind of fucking feeling.
You could do 3 different strengths and we do a lucky dip and see who gets most fucked up.
Yes, but also like the whole set and setting thing, you have to be very earnest about it. This is the thing with the plant medicines is you have to like be like I'm just gonna try and like be good to myself, and you have to like really mean it, but like for reals, which is hard for us because we talk so much bullshit.
Yeah, imagine we could do a podcast on acid. That would be interesting. Actually, most of our
No,
podcasts
that's
are
no,
probably
that's what we do at Christmas. How we work it out, but we're gonna have and it's all tinkly lights and fucking beautiful. And it's just happy acid at Christmas because it's fucking Christmas.
yeah, all right, I'm in. Let's do it.
I'd rather do acid than get drunk because there's no hangover.
That's true. I mean, I had my I had my youth, and so I do get a little fearful of being really high because I kind of just picture it being like in the good old days. And so like how
No, but this
high
is so we're in the kind of like fringe plant medicine now. This is verging into fucking voodoo shit. Oh, no, that's a misnomer. But there's microdosing, which is that subperceptual stuff, and then there's what's called a quote unquote hero dose, where you take a shit ton, put on a not a shit ton, so it's between 3 and 5 grams, which is like enough for your brain to go a bit loopy. And there's I think it's Stanford University, but some big scientific university in the States has curated a playlist specifically for end of life stuff. That's what they've researched it for, but it's probably pretty good for pretty much anything. And you
right,
have
right.
nice headphones and a blackout blindfold, and you have a sitter there to make sure that you're safe, and you just sit and your mind heal unravels and then heals itself.
Right. That sounds really cool. That's a bit like one of those sensory deprivation tanks almost. It's like you just go into
Yeah,
a complete
kind of, yeah.
different zone. That sounds good because those sensory tank things, I'm not allowed
Mm,
in them because
mm.
you know drowning and shit if I had a seizure. And so they're really touchy, these companies, about not letting people die.
Health and
Mad.
safety gone mad. They wouldn't
Gone
even let an
mad.
epileptic woman unattended in a pond.
Imagine that. I'm taken onto court for my death and going, what were you thinking? Putting an epileptic in the bath unsupervised.
Criminal breach of the law. which
That's something
is
that's
a
really
good.
bloody annoying, actually, is that I can't just have a bath. Such a simple thing. And it's like, sometimes I do, but I'm not supposed to go in bodies of water on my own. Like I could go to a public swimming pool because, probably someone would notice, but going swimming in the sea on my own is frowned upon, as is having a bath. And isn't that ridiculous that the bath is just as dangerous as the whole ocean? And
It really is.
There's no sharks in my bath. I won't stand on an eel. Do you get eels in the sea? You do, don't you? You get eels in the sea? I don't know. You get fish. I
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
that's a
Get more,
fact.
more
But
eels.
yeah, you do. Yeah, of course you get eels in the sea. I've seen them when I'm
You get all
diving.
kinds of stuff.
Anyway, who said doing a podcast
So
on acid couldn't be fun? I feel like we go there most times anyway.
it's not far off. And I mean, honestly, when I did one tab. So my little like tradition is I do one tab at New Year's and stay up and see the sun in, just once a year to flush out the cobwebs. And I was just like, oh yeah. I was just like, oh look, I'm not tired. Like
Yeah.
that's all it was
Oh,
really
really?
felt because I'm so disassociated and I use such a profound amount of life alter chemicals and my brain's already as altered as it is anyway. I mean, the thing is, with you, young Naomi, you're already also neurospicy. But then, like, how much of your neurodivergence is part of the epilepsy and how much of it was before? I don't know. I want to
What
know your
what
brain.
what makes you think that I'm neurospicy?
Because when you talk about like the overstimulation, there was something about like the weird sensation you get in your eyeballs.
That, yeah, going into a room of people and you get glad wrap or cling film eyes. Hey,
Yeah,
yeah, just going into a room of people and your brain makes you not be able to see properly. That's a
yeah.
normal thing. That's what happens. See, I don't see why other people don't
That's not how
have
like the bell curve of brains work. I'm just
that.
saying. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's like I don't know what you are, but it's like your middle name. That's a Taylor Tomlinson joke. It's like she got diagnosed bipolar, and her friend was like, I don't know. I didn't. Your mental illness was like your middle name. I didn't know what it was, but I knew you had one. So,
So my friend TK, when sort of in the early days of our friendship, and he's ADHD and
mm,
autistic, and
mm,
he just looked at me and was like, I don't know what you are, but you are something. I'm like,
mm,
I like that. I like it.
yeah,
But we're
very
saying
much.
but we're saying about, like, taking acid or mushrooms or whatever.
Mm,
And for you, that's good because it helps you dissociate from the pain. Whereas with my disorder and with the seizures, is part of the counseling of that is not dissociating, like being aware
mm,
of, how you're feeling and, the sensations and that sort of thing. And so I'm quite
mm,
well trained in making sure I pay a lot of attention to stuff. And
mm.
yeah, so the dissociating on purpose feels so alien.
But the thing is like I think with the what you're doing is you're not you're it's internal dissociation. So you're not going somewhere else. It's all part of you already, is the
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, and if you can go into it with like a really kind of, reverent, quasi-spiritual mindset, then you're able to say like that um focused attention that you have that's so good. Now that my neurons are a little bit looser, I can rearrange them how I want. I can go to the good place in my
Yeah.
brain
I guess
and
that
put
how
it where it's supposed to be.
when people are say depressed and they're wary of taking antidepressants, because they say, oh, it turns me into a zombie, or they're fearful of that,
Mm.
is the way that I always describe it, because I quite like things being in pictures, is when you're depressed or
Autistic.
when this is a normal way of thinking, this isn't a spicy way of thinking, is when people are depressed or have got a shitload of problems, it's like a big tangled web of string, like loads of individual strings are all tangled up. And you look at it and go, I can't untangle that. That's ridiculous. And when you take an antidepressant, it doesn't get rid of that big ball of tangles, but it separates it all out into individual strings. And so you can look
Mm.
at one string and go, I'll deal with that one, or I'll deal with that one. And so it doesn't cure everything, but it lets you see things a little bit clearer.
I think that that's the same with the microdosing that I do. It's like it's still the things are still hard, but the I feel like I'm able to lift that weight. You know,
Right.
you can't, and it's what one of the things I tell my team when I'm managing them at the Circus Association because I'm fancy. It's like, you can't climb a fucking mountain, but you can take one step. Do
Yeah.
one thing. Don't if you spend your whole time looking paralyzed at how big the fucking mountain is, you're not going to go anywhere. But if you just look down at your feet and go, okay, here's one, and that's how I managed to reform a bus, recondition a bus with a nervous system disorder. I was just like, okay, one, two, three. But yeah, I've gotten to the point now where I need to put that particular weight down so I can lift my other weights. Because I'm gonna start
Yeah.
getting old.
But as well, I think like because I've been forced to, it's looking at the small picture before the big picture, like you say with the mountain. If you think if I don't get to the top of that mountain, then I've failed. If you go in with that mindset, you're not going to start in the first place. And so
Mm,
just doing the little thing, like I've got a friend who wants to learn to play guitar, and he's saying, "Well, I'm never going to be amazing," and it's like maybe not, but you can learn one chord, and wouldn't that be fun?
mm,
And it's like a little step in itself is a step and it doesn't have to lead anywhere. You can just go, I did that one thing. And so, like, just getting started doesn't mean it has to go anywhere else. You can just do that
mm,
thing. And so, I guess that is the mindfulness sort of mindset, isn't it? Is just
mm-hmm.
be in the moment. Oh my God, I'm trying so hard to use all the counseling tricks at the moment. Be in the moment, enjoy the small things. And I do that so well normally. Why isn't it working right now? And so at
Because
the minute,
someone was really fucking mean to you, and like it's really hard. I think because whether or not this comes from being ill or not, but the types of like open, genuine people that we are, where you're like, oh, I'm going to be nice to you, so people are nice to you back, and they're like, no, a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people are just really
yeah,
selfish
yeah,
and don't think and aren't engaged. I don't fucking know what the words are, but yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
fucked up.
And I think because I spend so long, trying to be accepting of stuff, because I have to. And it's
Mm,
like, yeah, shit happens, and I've got to sort of learn or prioritize what to be stressed about and what is worth holding on to and what I should just go, well, that's just the way things are. I think even in a shitty situation where someone's been a dick, that instinctively want to go, okay, I should let go of that. I shouldn't hold on to that. And it's like, actually, I think with this one, it's okay to keep hold of it for a bit. And I did say to them that I want to just let it go, but I think I have to sit with it for a while. I think I need to keep hold of it for a little while because
mm.
not keeping hold of it and just saying, oh, everything's okay, feels like I'm just rolling over saying, walk all over me. It feels like
Well, it's when one of the things my meditation teacher said is I was like, I was being very like I fell off the horse, I hurt myself, I need to get back up there and do it again, keep going and be strong. And he's like, sometimes when you fall off the horse, you need to lay on the ground for a minute and
yeah,
just be like, I just fell off a fucking horse. And
yeah,
it's gonna take me a minute to like get up, dust myself off, like having my ass or whatever, and like
yeah,
have a minute before you get on the horse. And
yeah,
yeah, I would say just, yeah, don't leap back into that. Just be like, ow, fucking ow, man. Like give
yeah.
it a
I
second
I
for
don't
real.
have to fix it straight away, and also I'm not responsible for making somebody else feel okay because they are feeling shit about it, and it's like it's not my job to fix them. And
Mm.
the people pleaser in me wants to make sure everyone around me is
Oh,
okay. And it's like, actually, no, my priority should be making sure that I'm okay first. And if they feel shit in the meantime, tough, do feel shit about it. And say, yeah,
It's yeah, yeah, let them feel bad. And it's the I don't know if you get this one so much, but something that I've only just recently really learned to let go of is when someone else is doing something shitty and you're like, something has to be done. They have to you can't just be shitty. And finally my mentor was like, no, they're just you just have to let them be shitty. Like there's you can't like you're saying,
yeah,
you can't fix them. You don't you're not under any one, you're not under any obligation to fix them. Two, even if you did try to do that, they might not want it.
yeah,
And also spoons, man, you really have to pick where you're going to put them.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, as much as you get something positive out of having a nice friendly relationship with somebody, be like, man, I'm just gonna put my spoons, making sure that I'm happy and that I'm clean and have had a shower and have eaten. And
yeah,
like it's when my like personal cares and stuff start to slip, and I'm like, okay, I really need to like make sure that I'm eating and wearing clean clothes and
yeah,
having
yeah.
showers.
And I
You
guess
mean?
I guess it's the equivalent of scrolling on by on Facebook. So when you see people
Mm,
being dicks, and it's like immediately want to go, no, you don't understand that. Yes, some of the buses might be empty. It doesn't mean we should get rid of the whole new bus system. And it's like choose your arguments on Facebook, And it's like if you don't like a thing,
hmm
you don't have to correct people. You can just scroll on by to the next bullshit post. And so I guess in life, it's important to do that as well. Like the shitty situations and the shitty people, you can't necessarily fix it, and you can
mm.
just scroll on by and just let it happen
I was
to you.
talking to my friend Jess to call back to the start of the show, and my dad didn't send me a message on my birthday and hasn't ever my whole life. And my mom sent me a message, but and I was like, God, and my father-in-law thinks I'm a monster for using plant medicine. And I was kind of talking to Jess, and I was like, oh, being a bit sad. And she's like, Santa Claus. It's like Santa Claus. They're not there. They're literally on the other side of a planet. Nothing they do actually touches you, you know?
Right,
They're
yeah.
just imaginary. My family is imaginary. My
Oh,
real family is my son, who, when he hears me ticking and being sore in the kitchen as I'm tidying up, will come and give me a hug to help make me feel better. Like, that's my fucking
right,
family.
yeah, yeah. And I guess that's with
And you
replenishing
fucking man.
foods.
Your auntie Naomi for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, see, my family are far away, but they are 100% my support network. Like I always refer to my mum as my cheerleader because she's always got my back and she
Mm.
always wants the best for me. She's always, shows concern when things are bad. Like if I turn around to her and went, Steve was a dick, she'd be like, show me where, I'll get him. She would fight for me. And it's like, I would love my mum to beat the shit out of you. That would be an ace fight that I would love to watch.
Well, I do know how to stab. Can I get a sword since I'm a cripple?
You can't stab my mum.
Well,
Have you?
she's gonna beat the shit out of me. I'm gonna poke her with a stick.
Okay, fair enough. I'll warn her. Sorry, mum. Steve's gonna stab you now. But yeah, I guess that what
Okay.
we what we what we need to be aware of is taking the good that people offer and not accepting the shit that they
Mm.
offer.
And not mixing your shit with their shit and just being like, keep it on your table, man.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause they're grown-ups. They can deal if they ask for my assistance, if I can give it, then fair enough. But otherwise, they can deal with
Mm.
this shit. And that's not, dismissing the empathetic side of wanting people to be okay. but it shouldn't be at the expense of how I feel about myself. This is a great counseling session, actually. This is helping.
And it's hooray, I did it. But it's the other fucking the culture in New Zealand. And it's this thing where you give of yourself because the group is more important. And but it's to the point of detriment. So fencing related. This is a weird tangent, but we had an end of year tournament at our club and we paid our referees $90 for a day of refereeing, which is not an easy task sometimes.
Mm,
And we got told off because the national tournaments only pay their referees $50 for a day.
right,
And
right.
it's like, are you fucking serious? And it's like a
Yeah,
$50 for a day of hard work.
but why would you get into trouble about that? Was it making them look bad?
No, it was just like this isn't how we do things kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, but a lot of that comes from the boomer generation where it's like you could work a job at a grocery store and have enough money for your wife to stay at home with her two kids and then still have time to volunteer for all these other projects. But that's just not how the world is shaped anymore.
Good on you for actually paying them a bit more.
No, I'm a big ridiculous like fucking inflation shit for real. Like people gotta pay rent, man. It's
Yeah,
they should be like for a full day's refereeing, you should be getting several $100s, I think, for a full
yeah,
day's like
yeah. It's that
technically
thing.
difficult thing that you've done training for.
And it's that thing of when your friends have a business or a skill and people ask for mates rates. It's like,
Mm,
no, for my friends, I want to pay full rates. I want to support their
mm.
endeavors. Like, if you're doing a show, then I mean, you should give me a free ticket. But
We
generally
don't pay for
speaking,
tickets. No, there are people like you, and there's a couple other people who I'm like I want to support you and pay, and I'm like, put your fucking wallet away, Jesus Christ, are you insane? That brings us to the end of our therapy session stroke podcast today, but I think it's been good. Maybe for you too. Who knows? If you are going to do huge amounts of psilocybin, make sure that you do a lot of research and have a very trusted friend with you. That's our my end of episode note. It is a very potent medicine not to be taken lightly. Remember to like us and follow us and subscribe and do all that stuff. I hate I have to ask, but it is the dystopian future that we live in. And please love us, please.
please love us. We're good people. We really are.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks. Bye.